Welcome to the Lyceum. Today we are going to discuss about the English punctuation marks. That what are the punctuations and why do we use in any language, especially English. Before moving ahead, kindly subscribe the channel and click the bell icon as you can get the notification of all the upcoming videos. Now let's start our discussion. What are the punctuations? In English language, punctuations are actually the rules and regulations in order to punctuate the text is the text can be more meaningful. There are many types of punctuations, but here we shall discuss some of the most important ones. Let's begin with the full stop. The full stop is the most powerful punctuation mark in English. In American English, it is also called period. Here are some of the uses of full stop. Full stop is used at the end of a sentence, means it is a sign that the sentence is complete here. Full stop has very big muscles and it is very strong. You may see that at the end of this statement there is a dot, which is the full stop. Here it indicates that this is the end of the sentence. Full stop is also used with certain abbreviations like GOVT. Here it's abbreviation for government, and at the end of this the dot or full stop is used. Here it means that this is the abbreviation. Likewise, NOV is the acronym or abbreviation for November. P is likewise the abbreviation for page. P.100 means page number 100. Question mark. Question mark looks like a hook, and below that there is a dot. Is the word question mark is the self-explanatory. It is used at the end of a question. For example, are you enjoying my presentation? Here there is a question mark at the end of the sentence. It means that this statement is a question, or this is the interrogatory sentence. The inverted commas or quotation marks. Quotation marks are used to emphasize a word. For example, the word factory was first used in the 17th century. So here the word factory is enclosed in the inverted commas or quotation marks, means here factory is given emphasis. Quotation marks are also used to give quotations from writers. For example, Albert Einstein said, "You can't blame gravity for falling in love." So here this is the direct speech, means these are the words said by Albert Einstein. So the statement "you can't blame gravity for falling in love," this is actually the reported speech, means these are the exact words said by Albert Einstein. So this is why we have enclosed them in inverted commas to show the direct speech. Direct speech means when we quote the exact words said by someone to someone else. Now, apostrophe. Apostrophe looks like a comma, but it differs from comma in use. Usually, the comma comes at the bottom, while apostrophe is used above any word or letter. One of the most confusing features of English punctuation is apostrophe. To show constructions, it is also used. He is the leading authority on Hegel. He is here is used for contraction. Means here there is a letter that is missing. He is means he is. He is the leading authority on Hegel. So here its constructions is he's. Okay, so over the word he, especially over the letter e, there is apostrophe, and then there is means in between there is a letter that's missing. He is the leading authority on Hegel. I'm here to tell you something. I'm here is the contraction of I am. So this is why, in order to show that the letter is contracted, we have used apostrophe. Apostrophe is also used with possessives. For example, the professor's secretary. The professors, here after the professor there is apostrophe and then s. Professors means of professor. The professor's secretary means the secretary of professor. So here is the professor is singular, so this is why we have used the apostrophe after the word professor, and then we have used the s. Professors means of professor. Students' marks. Here students is already plural, so this is why we use apostrophe over the s. Women's right. Women is actually the irregular verb, so this is why after women we have used apostrophe and then we have added s. Now, comma. One of the commonest punctuation mark but also the hardest to provide guidance for. There are multiple uses of comma. It is used after introductory words or phrases. For example, however, most cases should be considered before reaching a conclusion. So here in this statement, the introductory word or phrase is however. However is the introductory word, so we have used comma after that. It is used around examples or comments. For example, nationalism. It is widely recognized, has a positive and negative side. It is used with conjunctions such as 300 people were interviewed, comma, but only half the responses could be used. Comma is also used in lists. For example, tomatoes, beans, cabbages, and potatoes were all genetically modified in turn. So here in the statement you may see that there is a list of vegetables. So this is why we have used comma. For example, tomatoes, comma, beans, comma, cabbages, comma, and potatoes were all genetically modified in turn. For example, in British English especially, after the last item we use and before and we use comma. But in modern British English, you may skip the comma from the last item and use and. Now, hyphen. Hyphen is used with certain words such as compound nouns and certain structures. For example, a well-researched, thought-providing book. Well-researched is a compound noun because it is made up of two words, well and searched. Well and researched, in between we have used hyphen. Just like thought-providing is also a compound noun. You may see there is a hyphen in between these words. Her 3-year-old daughter is learning to read. Here, 3 years old is a compound noun made up of 3 words. So this is why we have used the hyphens in between. Now, exclamatory mark or the mark of exclamation. Exclamation mark is used after an interjection or exclamation. Interjection, as we know, that is a word that shows the sudden emotion. An exclamatory sentence is a sentence in which we use the emotions by using interjections. For example, when he shouted, who would believe it? So, well is the response of any sudden emotion. So this is why we have used exclamatory mark after well. Now, the colon. Colon is actually the punctuation that is comprised of 2 dots vertically used. Colon is used to introduce explanation. For example, the meeting was postponed, Dan was ill. So here you may see the meeting was postponed is a statement, and after that we have used colon. Why? Because its further explanation is given ahead. Dan was ill. So colon here shows the further explanation that why the meeting was postponed, because Dean was ill. It is used to start a list. Their aspects were identified, colon, financial, comma, social, and ethical. Here in this statement, you may see that colon is used because the further list is ahead. Their aspects were identified, colon, financial, comma, social, and ethical. So after the colon, the list is started. It is also used to introduce quotation or to write the dialogue. For example, Ace, the Duchess of Windsor, said, "You can never be too rich or too thin." Here in the colon, you may see that colon is used to write the quotation by someone, or it is also used to write the dialogues. Now, the semicolon. Semicolon looks like the combination of a comma and a full stop. Both are used vertically. Above we write full stop, and beneath the full stop we write comma, and here we get semicolon. Semicolon is used where comma would be too weak and a full stop would be too strong. So we use the semicolon instead of these two. Semicolon is used to show the link between two connected phrases. For example, nobody questioned the result. Semicolon, they were quite conclusive. It is also used to divide up items in a list when they have a complex structure is in a multiple citation. For example, Maitland, 2006, semicolon, Rosner, 1997, semicolon, New Scientist, 2006, semicolon, University of Michigan, 2000. Here you may see that within the brackets there are multiple citations from the magazines or research papers or research articles. Now, brackets. You might have learned the brackets in the mathematics, but you will be surprised to know that brackets are also used in English language. Brackets are used to give additional detail without interfering with the flow of main idea. For example, relatively few people, bracket starts, 10 to 15%, bracket over, were literate in 16th century Russia. So here you may see that relatively few people, within the bracket the further detail is given, means how many few people. These few people means 10 to 15%. So 10 to 15% is the additional detail or information that is mentioned within the brackets. Thank you so much, audience. Your comments and your suggestions will highly be appreciated. See you soon in the next video.